I guess since the best Burning Abyss list this format are going second OTK sort of decks, I decided to stop playing the deck. I do not enjoy that kind of play style. I'm more of a mid-range control guy. I love that Phantom Knights Burning Abyss build that I was playing, but I decided that why hinder myself with a very expensive rogue deck when I could just play this deck that is cheaper and overall better. Uh, yeah, the Burning Abyss was getting way too expensive with the dangers and all that, so decided to hop on the Salamangreat train. Been playing it for 3 weeks now, and yeah, been having pretty good results with it. Now, this version, I wasn't playing Phantasme before because I thought the car was too expensive and it wasn't worth the price. But after seeing the first place ARG winner running three of them in the main deck, I decided to test it, and I saw that it was nuts. The car is insane. So bottom, and now I am playing it. This list is actually very close to his list. Because I disagree with very few things. Like I decided to play the third part of the sires because you can side them out. It's like you have more spaces to side in and side out. Yeah, the Imperial Order. I don't think he run that. And yep, that's pretty much it. It's very close to his build, definitely, but made a few changes. Mine was pretty close as well to his build. Only I wasn't running the Phantasmate, but holy crap, this card is fantastical. Now let's hop on a replay. Right now I do not have much rating. I haven't been playing much in this format because I was not enjoying myself with the previous Burning Abyss deck, and I could not play the Salamangreats and rated. So hopefully I can get back to at least top 100, and with enough time and enough dedication, let's see if we can make it to top 50. Right now I'm playing against somewhat of a decent player. He has quite a bit of rating, so he knows what he's doing, which is a pretty good thing. And yep, we win the die roll. Oh no, he actually wins the die roll and makes us go second. And yep, open Phantasme and draw going second, which is nuts. Usually you Phantasme first and then draw, but he actually opens with Pot of the Sires. Now, like I said, you wanna Phantasme first because then draw doesn't let you do Phantasme. But I decided to draw here because the few decks that run Pot of the Sires need one search to go off. So, for example, Salamangreats is a good example, although they can sort of do without a search a lot of the times. Thunder Dragon needs that search off of the danger, the Nessie, the Dragon Dark, and yeah, the only one is that doesn't need the search is like Altergeist, but now they're running the new pot. So yeah, I decided to risk it and ditch that draw and blockbird. Now, comment below if you have ideas for a deck that would have punished me here, could have made a board with using links under that draw and blockbird, and if I should have just waited for the Fantastical Dragon instead of the draw and blockbird. But in this case, it went pretty well for me. He just ended his turn. I was lucky, to be honest. I was lucky, but maybe my judgment was correct, and that's what I want to know in the comments. Now here, this hand is pretty freaking good. Like, I have a lot of plays. I decided to use Foxy's effect, which is kind of risky since if he gets removed from the field or anything, like if my plays get stopped, I have one less extender. But yeah, I was like, he has no play, so I need to like gather as much what's the word? Gather as much advantage that I can get. So, yep, get the Gazelle, and I go off. This is basic stuff. Like I said, I've said this in my Burning Abyss videos. I'm not gonna cover the basics. If you want the combos, go to Road of the King. They have a lot of combos there. You can read about the deck on various sites. You can watch deck profiles. I'm not gonna cover the basics. So yeah, just going off. Of course I ditched the trap because I already have enough extenders. Use Spinny. Now this is somewhat of a risky play in the sense that if now Mirage Talio gets stopped, I do not have much else. Now, the other option though was to use Gazelle, and Spinny, Gazelle and Building, sorry, into Wolf, and Spinny getting me back the Gazelle through the Wolf. I decided that it was worth the risk of him having a disruption like Impermanence or Valor or Ash, because I lose a Gazelle. The only thing that I lose is actually a Gazelle, but what I would win is so much, because I would get the what's the guy, the Jaguar in the graveyard. So it's definitely I lose way too little, and in fact I lose pretty much nothing if he hits me, which by the way he does. He does have Impermanence, because I lose the possible Gazelle that I could have gotten, but he loses an Impermanence. So it's pretty much a win or neutral scenario. It's not a win-loss scenario. And yep, I attack for 3,000 due to the spinning effect, and then go for the Wolf. Now, I do not have any way to bring back the Gazelle. I think the Foxy effect there was correct anyways. So, yeah. I do not have any way to get back the Gazelle, but it doesn't matter. He lost an Impermanence. It was worth it. Change the Wolf for another Wolf. Use Wolf effect to get my Roar Rage back. He summons Phantasme from before, yeah, before I could use the Wolf effect. Now I use Wolf, and he bells. I do not know why he's playing Bell instead of Valor. I think Valor is so much better. Anyways, I have Circle. Luckily for me, I decide that I'm pretty much guaranteed to win if this sticks. So it's better to use all my resources on this play rather than saving that Circle for later or whatever. Plus I have Phantasme for extra draws anyways. So anyways, I'm in a really good spot right now. I'm already set up. My win condition is here. It's that reincarnation linked Wolf with bunch of traps, bunch of disruption, the Phantasme in hand. Really good spot for me. Now he normal summons the Ladybug. I decided not to roar because that would be stupid. It's just a search, right? And plus the search will tell me what he does or does not have in hand. If he does have a Gazelle in hand, he will add a Spinny. Like I'm just negating Ladybug is I don't think is ever good, except for clear cases where it's pretty much a top deck card. But in an open game state like this, it's better to not stop Ladybug. Open game state, by the way, is I think it was used in an article I read on TCG Player back in 2009. It's basically when you both have a lot of unknown cards, you don't know. It's really hard to read your opponents due to the sheer amount of cards. It's the opposite of a closed game state. In closed game state, by the way, the better players should be winning because you each know your cards and the other person's cards. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. He asked the Gazelle, so now I sort of know what he has in hand, at least the Salamangreat part of it. And I know that if I Rage here, I'm not going to be sending any Salamangreat cards to the graveyard, so Gazelle is definitely not going to trigger, and he's pretty much going to have to end his turn. So Rage, and unless he has like Foolish Burial, which by the way is an insane tech. I'm not playing it because I'm a pussy. I mean, sorry for the language, but yeah. He sets a bunch and passes, which is pretty much the Salamangreat thing to do if you have if your plays are stopped. I draw, and yep, I'm in a really good spot. I can keep on generating resources for no cost at all, and keep staying ahead on the card. So use Spinny. I do not know what my thought process here was to use Spinny like this instead of just Wolf. It's funny because I just played this game. Maybe I was testing the waters because I have a circle in hand, so I wanted to know if I was gonna have to use the circle to protect Wolf. And then, but yeah, I think Wolf on Rage could have been better there. Yeah, I think it really doesn't matter. But I want to trigger Wolf first to check for any traps or anything that he could use on Wolf, so I can know if I need to make either another Wolf or I can keep making extension plays like the Stalio, or if maybe a Phoenix or something like that. So yeah, it's fine. Spin is fine. Use Wolf effects, and he calls by the grave my other Wolf. Luckily, I have the Roar for the call by the grave, and Wolf has the Gazelle. Now this means that I cannot summon Gazelle this turn, but basically my thought process here is I don't win much by using Gazelle, because I'm gonna summon Jaguar off Stalio, but I think that thought process is kind of wrong at the same time, because I could also send the Falco to get even more advantage. Maybe I could have gone on the Foxy, but then Foxy is really good here, so it's a free extender, but I do have my normal summon. So yeah, maybe could have gone on the Foxy, but this way I have a Salamangreat to discard with Foxy, and I can still use Circle to get a normal summon Jaguar, for example. So I decide to use Wolf, and then I decide to Circle for what? Well, he pretty much scoops. But yeah, I should have used the Foxy discarding the Gazelle before I used the Circle, and just in case I needed to use the Circle for a protection. Anyways, I do win. Sadly, this matchup is very snowball-ish, because whoever starts within gets this win condition on the board first has such an insane amount of chance to win that yeah, it's very tilting. So here I think I could have had more of a chance to win. Sadly, I misplay, or rather, it's not 100% misplay, but I'd say it's 80% the wrong play. Because anyway, Lady Debug, like I said, you do not failure Debug. If I had, he would have had plays anyway, because he had a Spinny, he has Gazelle in hand. If he adds Gazelle off of Debug, a lot of the times you can Veiler the Veilings, so they do not have, or maybe don't have any more extension plays, because if you Veiler the Veilings, they cannot send another Veilings to the graveyard to trigger the Gazelle. Now he's running backup Secretary, which is pretty weird, but it's also a pretty good idea. I mean, it's a free summon of a Cyber's monster. Now he gets to keep that level 4 to make it a Baguska. I'm gonna have a bad time, and I know it, but I can stop the Baguska if I Veiler the rank 3, the Stalio. So I'm in a really good spot, so to speak. I do not have Phantasme or more hand traps. I drew 2 debugs, which is not very good, but I have Veiler nonetheless. Obviously, do not stop the Gazelle here, because whatever he sends to the graveyard is going to be less threatening than the Baguska. And here's what I misplayed. I decided in my head that I was gonna Valor the Wolf, because I was like, okay, he's gonna be greedy, and he's gonna summon Wolf, reincarnated Wolf before he activates any of the effects, which is what most people do. They reincarnate the Wolf before using any of its effects, because that way Jaguar can send the first Wolf in the graveyard back to the extra deck, so they can have more Wolves. I do that too as well. And I decided that Valor could get me a +2, so to speak, because they would stop both effects of Wolf. Now, that is very wrong on many reasons. First of all, if I stop the Stalio and stop the Baguska, I can play. If I don't stop, like, Baguska does not let me play at all. Second of all, as you can see here, he can do the following: make Wolf, make Jaguar, make the second Wolf, like I said, and then use the Jaguar effect to summon itself, triggering Wolf. And if I do stop the Valor, I use the Valor to stop him from getting Gazelle back, he can then link into another Wolf, which, by the way, he doesn't care because he did recycle the first Wolf, and get back the trap. So Valor is only a 1-for-1 here, and a 1-for-1 for a monster, like, it's not gonna stop the trap, which is what I want to stop going second. So Valor here is very, very bad, and I do not just get punished for being not greedy but stupid. I get super punished because he has Circle. This is a complete disaster right here. I should have 100%, forget the 80%, I should have 100% used Valor on this Salio. But, we all make mistakes, and it's better to, learn here than learn in the finals of your locals, regionals, or YCS, So yeah, he resolves everything, and luckily he's not running Baguska. He's only running Dweller. This is perfectly correct. If you do not have space, the best rank 4 is Dweller. Dweller is still good against Salamangreat, but it's just not as good as Baguska. Now, I have a chance to win thanks to that, but, I'm still in a really bad spot. Luckily, he only has one set. I read that he had Roar in hand because he sent Rage, but he did not. Now, this is very risky because I could be running evenly, right? He did not see the Phantasme in my deck, so he does not know if I'm running evenly or not. Like, usually if you run Phantasme, you don't run evenly, but oh man, that is a huge misplay by him. In my opinion, to not get the Roar. Oh well. Anyways, I guess maybe Roar is not that good against Salamangreat. I'll have to test it, but I would have gone for Roar 90% of the times. Like, if I know that he's running Phantasme, then I would have gone for Rage. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, summon debug effect. He does not pop the debug, so I can, play on. Yeah, use the Veilings. I don't know why he doesn't pop the debug. Maybe he's scared that I run some sort of extender or something like that, but whatever. Veilings gets me the, yeah, I misplay there. Veilings gets me the Sanctuary, and here I decide to Sanctuary Veilings to late Veilings, because this way I can put a Veilings into the graveyard to protect from Rage. You can also use Circle to search Spenny, send Spenny, and trigger Gazelle, but this does not put Veilings in the graveyard. And I decided to, do this. It is the safest play. Triggers Gazelle, Gazelle summons itself, and he has Phantasme as well. Anyways, Gazelle resolves. I think it sends Roar, my bad. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, summon Wolf then summon Wolf again, and I have Roar, Rage, whatever. I have 4 sets, of which he can only set, hit 2. And I can also, get rid of the Dweller. Uh, Here's the thing, though. If I had gotten rid of the Dweller right here, I could have made such a comeback. If I had Baylor the Stalio, because Circle would get spinny, trigger whatever, summon the Stalio, and I would get rid of his Stalio. I would get rid of the Veilings in the graveyard. The Link 2 as well, so he cannot pop with Rage. I would be so ahead if I've used the Veiler correctly, but gotta learn, guys, gotta learn. And it's better to learn like by watching a YouTube video than to learn, in an actual game. But oh well, gotta learn somewhere. I decided to go into triple Veilings. I like this a lot. I like to use as many Veilings as possible. Usually the third one I try to save just in case, but this is because I was thinking, I need to protect this turn, next turn, and last turn, and like my next turn. So that's 3 turns. That's 3 Veilings. That was my thought process, and yeah. So I go into Wolf, and I attacked the Dweller, get rid of it, and I go Wolf into Wolf like an idiot because I've already used Sanctuary. Now this is pretty much GG. He has Rage to hit 2 of my 3 sets. Even if he does not hit the Rage, he has Veilings. Really bad spot. Lots of misplays, but yeah, go next basically. Shows you like how one small misplay, well, small, it's a pretty big misplay to be honest, but yeah, can cost you the game. Anyways, go to the game 3. I'm feeling pretty confident because this is a very snowball matchup. By the way, I'm gonna show you what I sided in just in case you want to know. Oh, sadly this crash. Oh no, it didn't crash. Oh, cool. So yeah, it did not crash. I'm gonna show you what I sided in just a second. Skip deck. Right. So for game 2, I sided out the Birds, the Solemn Strike. Sided in into Twister, Prank Drops, Call by the Graves. Also sided it out 1 Foxy, 1 Desires, 1 Upstart Goblin. Because I did not have the space and I wanted to keep Call by the Grave. I think in retrospect I should have not sided in the Call by the Graves, or not sided in maybe 1 Twin or 1 Prank Drops, because I kind of need to draw to draw out. But now that I think of it, there's nothing that I can draw in my turn that really outs. Like I'm not running the Fusion, I'm not running Super Paul, I'm not running Evilly. So yeah, no, it was correct. Yeah, those 9 was correct. Then for going first, pretty obvious. Also side out the draw, side in these 3, side in this 3, and side out. I think I set it out Foxy, Upstart Desires as well. Yeah, I decided to keep in the Phantasme. It's such a good card in the mirror. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's what I talked about like Upstart and Desires giving you more side deck space, so to speak, side deck room. So yeah, I'm really confident because this is a noble matchup. If I get going first, I have a really strong chance to win. But I draw shit, and yeah, Foxy gets me crap. At least it gets me a card. Like it could be worse, right? Card to this card of Rage or Pop with Foxy. Like okay, it's something. Of course I go into a reincarnated Veilings just so I can pop for free. It kind of tells that I have a face down that needs a link, but I don't mind giving the information. Yeah, I really don't, because I put a Balinks in the graveyard anyways. It's pretty good. Normal Spenny, specials the secretary. Now, if he normal Spenny, he obviously has a Gazelle in hand. That's what I think, at least. That's what he tells me. Hey, I normal summon Spenny, I have a Gazelle in hand. And that means that I cannot rage pop Spenny, because if not, he just goes off. Now, he special the secretary and decides to go to battle phase, which is pretty smart. Forces, because if I have Roar, I pretty much lose the Roar, and if I have Rage, it forces the Rage. I was actually thinking of not using Rage, and saving it to discard with the Jaguar, because I can pop something later on. It was like, hey, he's gonna link into what's his face, into Balinks, which is gonna stop my popping anyways. So I might as well pop for free now. So I decide to pop Secretary for free. Oh, also I decide that this way my Balinks gets to live, so he's forced to use a Stalio to remove it. But a Stalio that, by the way, I can Ash. So it's sort of a bait, right? It's like, hey, you want to get rid of my Balinks, you gotta Stalio it. But I have Ash for it, so if he Stalios on this zone, which is he's not gonna do, obviously. He's gonna Stalio with he's gonna Balinks with this, but still it's something. Forces my Balinks. Yep. I obviously did not stop anything here. Phantasmic resolves, drawing me. Well, at least I drew sort of a starter card, so to speak. Lady Debug and a Spinny, so I can have more extenders next turn. Spinny can be discarded with Foxy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I actually commit 2 misplays here, 2 in a row, which I don't get punished much for it, but I get punished nonetheless. The first one is I keep the Spinny. I put the Jaguar. This is a misplay because I guess both Spinny and Jaguar are gonna be sent to the grave by Foxy. That is obvious. But I know that he has a Gazelle in hand. Like I know he's activated. It's not like oh he might have it. No, I know he has it. So I'm gonna be forced to call by the grave with Spinny so he doesn't link it to Stalio to remove my Balinks. The thing is, if I call Spinny, I cannot use my own Spinny, so Jaguar is gonna be so much better for whatever I want to do. And yeah, that's the first mistake. Maybe it's a little bit subtle to see because I need to think ahead of what I'm gonna do. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to call by the grave that Spinny after he sells. So I should keep the Jaguar. But it's subtle, but I think it's objective. It's objectively bad to keep the Spinny here. Sanctuary. Now, second misplay, he triggers Gazelle. And I do not Ash it. Now, this misplay it's so to me it's because I'm a greedy player. It's one of my main flaws. I think I'm gonna save Ash for better play. There's gonna be if I use Ash now, he's gonna just have a better play later on. It's like when you play an MMO and you save like those like Pokemon, like you save that Omni Elixir, you save it all game, and then when you finish the game, you're like you have 7 or 8 of those. And you haven't used it because you're like, oh yeah, I'm just saving it for like for later on for real pinch when you should have used it before. Well, this is sort of the same thing. I should have just used Ash here. Ash on Gazelle stops 1 disruption later on. Trading Ash on Gazelle is like trading an Ash for an Ash, so to speak. And I am the aggressor. I have the upper hand. I am the one that needs to win, so to speak. If I do not put pressure on him, he can turn the table back on me. So I should be the one that's trading 1 for 1. For anyone that's not understanding why this is this happens is because Gazelle, since it's trapped, later on he can get it back. So Gazelle in the end is gonna be resolving is gonna be a disruption. So yeah, I want to be trading 1-for-1. I want to be simplifying the game state so that my wolf and my cards just get me advantage that stop him from getting advantage. I think I'll talk about this a little bit more when I finish the game. So hopefully, if I remember. So yeah, I do not stop the Gazelle with Ash. I call by the grave this Spenny. By the way, backup secretary is once per turn. So yeah, it's not like he can now drop another backup secretary. Wolf. I guess if you were running the psychics, right, you would want to keep Ash for that guy, the Stallion. But even then, you're stopping a disruption. You're stopping that rage or that war with Ash. But whatever. Yep. Wolf gets back rage. This is pretty obvious. And yep. This is pretty much it. He sets and passes. Now, obviously, he wants to rage. Oh yeah, what's he Gamicio again? Wait, he Gamicios this guy? Oh yeah, he Gamicios this guy, so he doesn't put Phalanx in the graveyard, and this way he triggers Wolf. Okay, that makes sense. A little bit greedy as well for his part, but this way he ensures that he has a Gazelle that's live for next turn, because if he used the Wolf on next turn, or like whatever, or maybe on my turn, which I don't plan to trigger anyways, he cannot use Gazelle. So yeah, maybe it's not that greedy. Maybe it's the correct play to Gameciel there. Yeah, because I mean Gameciel is such a good card in this matchup because like you get rid of the link. I don't know. Is that correct? Is using Gameciel there correct to get back the Gazelle? Yeah, maybe because yeah he wouldn't have any other play. He doesn't have a what's his face, a Foxy in the graveyard to start off his plays. Next turn, he needs Salamangreat name to start, and what better than Gazelle, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's correct. I draw. He uses Rage, obviously, before I can get to main one and link away my Phalanx. This is correct. Gets rid of both my cards. And I normal debug. Now, I don't really care what that is. I have so many plays right here. I'm so far ahead that I should win regardless of that disruption. Maybe he has a hand trap and a disruption face down. That could get tricky, but even then, I should be able to just get ahead. I decided to go for the very strong play of, well, it's not here, the Ita, the Charmer. Using the links, and yep, triggering the cell will send Rage to the Roar to the graveyard. This way I set up to get even more advantage, not more events, but rather to set up more disruption to just solidify my state. Get the Wolf. Should have summoned this in attack. Like, there's no reason to summon this in defense mode. In any case, I'm very high on life points. This has more attack than defense. Like, literally, no reason to put this in defense. I use Foxy's effect, sending Spenny. I think I should have done this before, because now he shows his face down, which is called by the grave. I should have definitely done this before, because I would have had this knowledge and maybe my play would have changed. I don't think it would have changed, but you know, always use what I call the known effects before you use the unknown effects, right? He knows that you have a Fox in your graveyard. He knows, yeah, but he does not know that you can make Hita, because he does not know that you run it. So yeah, it's better to go for the Foxy play first to check, so to speak. Anyways, he calls Foxy, so I cannot make the Stalio to get rid of the Wolf for free. Still get rid of the Wolf nonetheless. with with battle. I banish my own. Yeah, get rid of it. He tries to trigger the cell, but he can't because it says not during the damage step, except during the damage step. Main phase 2, link away into another wolf. Then he triggers the cell because I did not know that he, like, it's obvious because it is sent to his graveyard, but I was not thinking about that. I did not expect this. Still, it's not a war. It's not like the world is ending. He does not have a Falco in the graveyard, but he can now send a Falco to the graveyard with Excel to put it back in. Yeah, he crows the roar. Yep, yeah. So it's roar channeling 1, Gazelle in hand channeling 2. Yeah. And then he sends Spinny, which is incorrect. Should have sent Falco in my opinion. And I should have asked the Gazelle again. Holy crap, I am not using this ass at all. I'm just saving it for some big play, which I should have used it a long time ago. Anyways, I'm in a really good spot due to how snowbally this matchup is. Even if I don't make any mistakes, even if I make a bunch of mistakes, I still get a lot of resources, more than he does, because he's not able to access them. So yeah. Yeah, we're discussing something. I don't know what. Can use word like whatever. Yeah, I can. Now this play here, I should use Rage right here to get rid of these 2 cards before he can link into Veilings, but I did not realize it, and he links into Veilings. Again, another small mistake, but I'm so far ahead that it doesn't matter. Remember, guys, don't let them go into Veilings, because if they put it there in the graveyard, it's gonna be annoying later on. Veilings, you're gonna have to deal with it sooner or later. Anyways, I get rid of the 2 cards, and he does not have a Gazelle in hand. Also, another reason to get rid of the Veilings, to get rid of the Gazelle if he can link it to Veilings, he cannot trigger a Gazelle in hand by sending a Gazelle to the graveyard. So, if I Rage Gazelle, he cannot trigger the Gazelle in hand. Now, about the how important tempo is when you're winning the 1-for-1 trades, just think about Alistair against Alistair. You have Alistair in your hand, the opponent has Alistair in his hand. Supposedly that you have both you both have the lights in the graveyard. Whoever summons Alistair, whoever turns it wins. You summon Alistair, you get invocation, you summon the Macabre, you get Alistair back. The other one summons, you pass. The other one summons Alistair, you discard, negate Alistair, and you win now, because you're gonna be drawing once per turn, 1 monster per turn to stop him, to stop his Alistairs, and he can only summon 1 Alistair per turn due to the normal summon restrictions. So this is a very simplistic scenario, but this is sort of the simplified version of the game that you wanna end up with when you're winning. If you're winning, you just want to simplify the game state. You both want to have 2 cards, but since your cards are already on the field, ready to be used, when he tries to use his cards, you stop him. And that's sort of why I should have used Ash on the first Gazelle or on the second Gazelle. I'm not saying use Ash on whatever effect comes in, right? If you ahead in the game and the other one has 5 cards and summons what's his face, and summons Lady Diva, do not ask that, of course not. But just do not be greedy on the other side of the spectrum. Know that Gazelle is just gonna bring him another disruption. It did bring him a Rage, so Ash the Gazelle in that scenario, of course. Do not ask Gazelles randomly if you know that you have to stop a Stalio from resolving to stop Baguska, like the game 2. If that had been an Ash instead of Valor, should have ashed the Stalio, not the Gazelle. Anyways, hope you guys like this game. I'm sorry if you wanted to see more Burning Abyss content, but sadly, I'm not gonna hinder my own progress by playing a very expensive rogue deck. As much as I love the deck, it's just I like to compete better than I like Burning Abyss. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. But please post your own videos. I want to see mistakes like the ones that I did here, so I can learn them and not lose games because of mistakes that I could have avoided by watching videos on YouTube. When I'm like cooking or in bed or whatever, I'm just watching a video of you guys playing Salamangreat on YouTube. I'm like, hey, that's a misplay. I shouldn't do that. So yeah, please, it's super easy. Just do it, and hopefully we'll get better plays to do it. Darren Stevenson is already doing it, and yeah, let's try to extend this trend. Yeah, that's all. Goodbye and peace out.